Guys, we moved to Sunday with this review, and I'm here to obviously review yesterday's game between the Mariners and Newport County. It ended 0-0 in front of 4,298 to get the figure right at Rodney Parade. And Grimsby Town's very first draw of the season, which I'm going to say I'm ecstatic about. You know, we finally get a point that maybe we shouldn't have got overall. I'll take you through quickly what the lineup for the Mariners were. It was Jordan Wright in goal, Terrell Warren, Harvey Rogers, Kevin McJanet and Denver Hume. George McEachran playing the role just in front of the back four, with Yasin Svan Thorson, can never get his name right. Kieran Green, Evan Curry and Luca Barrington, with Danny Rose leading the line up front. And it was one of those kind of games that, you know, we didn't dominate, but we played well in patches. We played really well in patches, especially as we have done away. We were looking for 6 straight away games. Wasn't to be. A couple of names people would remember in the Newport team, obviously, was former Morecambe midfielder Wildy. And of course, the big man, Carl Hudlin. Get on to him in a minute. And of course, one of our former players, Bryn Morris, or as I call him, the torpedo, in regards to how he can strike a ball from 35 yards and it somehow ends up in the back of the net. Bryn's got a wicked right foot, there's no doubt about that. Obviously, there was no place in the team for Anthony Glennon, who obviously had been injured throughout that period. But the game overall, it was started well. Both teams felt the way in, but were also both very, very attacking. It was a lively game in truth. For 0-0, I would say you should be reasonably impressed, really, with a 0-0. I mean, Newport ended up with most of the possession overall. 12 shots to 8. 6 were on target for Newport. 2 were on target for Town. Off target, which means we had 6 off target. They had 1 off target. 5 block shots in general for Newport. And there was a lot of decent midfield play. I think one of our biggest problems was when we had the ball, we gave it away again a little bit too easily. And I think they had it better kind of on the wings. I mean, Yasin got dispossessed about 2 or 3 times in the first half. His control and being dispossessed, you could see that Yasin was getting more and more frustrated because he wasn't able to hold it sort of up. When we got out to the left, we looked, we looked dangerous. And it was a tight game, but their goalkeeper, Townsend for Newport, was very, I'll say, very flappy. He wasn't confident when coming for things, or I mean, one of the early chances that we had was Danny Rose's willingness to close down. Sort of, I think, kind of had the goalkeeper worried and very nearly came off for Danny, and that's what I like about Danny Rose. He's persistent with the closing down and making it difficult for teams to know what to do, and nearly got in. Newport had spells as well. Newport had spells of saves that Jordan Wright made. Can I just say, I think this was Jordan Wright's best game in a township, and not just due to the saves, just generally he looked more confident. I think his distribution needs to be worked on. I think that is probably one of his weaknesses, is his distribution. But the saves he made, a couple of really, really good saves over the game. One of the major talking points, obviously we'll talk about it now, is the penalty that was given. And I remember watching this on Sky Sports Plus, by the way. I wasn't able to get to Newport. Luckily I was able to see the replay of it. If the referee thought that was a penalty, then I don't know what he was looking at. People say at full speed that it probably looked like it. If you're going to give penalties for those, then tackling goes out the window. And like I normally am here, and I normally defend referees, and I normally can see the logic. The only logic is the fact that the speed it was at, he thought it was, but no chance. I saw people say that Hudlin tripped over his own feet. Yes, he did. There was not enough. Why would a little tap of anything knock a 6'9" striker down? And it was, we thought, that's a bit of injustice. Well, injustice was served because Carl Hudlin stepped up for the penalty, and good save by Jordan Wright. Like I said, Jordan looked confident throughout the day, especially when it comes to shot stopping. He looks like he's really confident on that. We had a real good chance. Like I said, we had that. We had the goal disallowed, which was offside. Artel's saying it wasn't. Well, the whistle blew before the ball went in the net. It was just one of those. We didn't get it. But again, it shows the poacher price Danny Rose has got. They probably, Newport did just probably come out just enough to just put him offside. I'm not going to say that we weren't, that it wasn't. Artel believed that it wasn't. That was early on in the first half, or midway through the first half. And it ended 0-0 at half time. You're thinking, good even half. They had, obviously, most of their play were better down the wing. I think Yasin was the one that had the weakest game. I will say, I think, no one really had a bad game, but I think Yasin was a little bit more frustrating. I think for him, you could see he was frustrated. And going into the second half, you were thinking, oh, well, is Artel going to do anything? And I agreed with him with the sub that he made when Jaden Luca came on for Yasin at the start of the second half. Then he paid dividends, really. And then as soon as the second half started, Jaden took a shot from the edge of the penalty area, which just went wide of the post. And then Newport seemed to have got a handle on it. I think they definitely had most of it in the second half, really. We had a couple of chances, and like I said, whenever you get Denver Hume running down the wing, you always feel like the delivery is going to be good, and it was. And we had a couple of. We didn't really have any real clear-cut chances in the second half, apart from one, which Rosie will honestly feel disappointed not to have taken. He just didn't connect with it properly. It was a crossing, I think it was. Yes, it was. I'm trying to remember exactly who it was now. I think it was Hume that put the ball in, and he just didn't connect with it, and you could tell when he had his hands on his head, knowing that was a chance that he should have taken. But if I was to look at our performance, did we really deserve to win it? Maybe not. Newport obviously should have scored that penalty in the first half. In the second half, they had a couple of really glorious chances to win it. Baker Richardson, with about 10 minutes to go or so, what a chance. It went right across the box, and Courtney Baker Richardson, it seemed to just clip his calf. He didn't get the swing on it. There was, you're thinking 1-0. Tapping, our away form hinders it. But no, he didn't connect with it. But there was a couple of chances for Newport where they really should have put that in. And both sides kept trying. It was good to see that Curtis Thompson got a good 40 minutes or so. Jordan Davis got a good 15 minutes due to injury time and all sorts of things. It's good to see those guys getting back in the fold. It looks as though we will be missing Kieran Green for Colchester. I think he's reached 5 yellows. So looks like we'll be probably missing him for Colchester, I believe, which Artel mentioned in his post-match. And overall, though, I am delighted with the draw. I remember saying in some other reviews and previews, we need to get a result that we shouldn't have got. And Saturday was one of them. We got a result we probably shouldn't have got. Because obviously when you concede a penalty rightly or wrongly, there's no pressure on the goalkeeper. All the pressure's on the striker. And with Hudlin was an issue throughout the game, but not massively. Harvey Rogers and that dealt with him fairly well. The back line dealt with him fairly well. He obviously got through a lot, and I think sometimes when you've got a lad as big as Kyle, it's very hard to, I think for referees as well, to have sympathy for Hudlin. There was times probably where he was far away, he wasn't given. His height would have probably been the reason why he didn't usually do that with big target men, but it was a fair result. It was a very fair result and a good point. Anything away from home is good. Obviously, we rose his chance in the second half. Very, very disappointed to not come away with the 3 points. but I think in general to say we've kept another clean sheet on the road, which is good to see, and got our first draw when, like I said, we probably really shouldn't have got the draw. I'll take that. I think all lads did really well. Not, like I said, not the game for Yasin. I think it was just one of them games where he was trying and nothing was coming off. I think it was just one of those days for him. Kieran Green came close as well during the game. But I think Kieran Green's starting to become, I think, the player of the season so far. He's the one that really is standing out. Terrell Warren, another decent performance. George McEachran gets a lot of plaudits, deserves them. And man of the match for me, you've got to give it to Jordan Wright. He is improving after injury, and proves he's a shot stopper. But like I said, it's just the distribution that needs to be worked on. But I'm more than pleased with that that draw. I'm more than pleased with that draw. I think like I said, it's a result that really we probably shouldn't have got. But hey, it puts us in 7th place. We've got 25 points from 16 league games. And excuse me, tickly cough. But a very good, a good battling draw that was. And like as Ardell said, both teams could have won it, both teams could have lost it. I think we were more likely to lose it than win it. And you have to say that when they missed a penalty, you're more likely to lose it than win it. So a good draw, it's something to build on. There is now a 2-point gap between us and the team in 8th. We move on to Colchester next week. Back at Blundell Park. See if we can do that. I will be back with a preview for that. Well, I hope. I'll bring that out Thursday. I know the Grimsby videos have been a bit scattered lately, and there's been previews promised and not delivered. Very hectic time for me at the moment. I'll do a video about that in the next I'll bring one out in the next day or so and what's going on. But there will be a preview for Colchester, and hopefully we can get our home form back up and running. Because I've said this, if we can do that, we'll be dangerous this year. If we can start to just pick our home form up a little bit, we'll be thereabouts, So, a good draw over at Newport. Disappointed not to get the win. Danny Rose will be disappointed with the chance he missed. But a good one in respect of a couple of the chances Newport had. They probably really should have took the game, really. But anyway, guys, that is me done for this review. Do let me know down below what you guys thought and your guys' opinions. Were you there? Did you watch it on Sky Sports Plus like I did? And are you pleased with the draw? Obviously everyone wants to win, but they always say if you can't win the game, don't lose the game, and that's exactly what we didn't do. So I will see you in the week with the Colchester preview. In the meantime, guys, I will see you soon. Up the Mariners. And we move on to Saturday. And we could end up being top 4 for a couple of hours. I'll go over that in the preview. In the meantime, guys, up the Mariners. I'll see you soon. Ta-da. Can you believe it? Here we go. 0-0 draw. Finally shown we can do it. I'll see you soon, guys. Ta-da.